Hey, Ryan. Morning. Good to see you back.
Thank you. Good to be back. Thank you. Larry, good morning.
Oh, good tov. How do you feel, Ronnie?
I'm back to normal.
Great. Good to hear.
Thank you.
I didn't see it was you. There's no picture.
Yeah, well, I get in front of the camera, I guess. Can you see me there?
Hey, there you go. Hi, Ronnie. Hi, Jojo.
Hi, good morning, Larry.
How are you?
I'll plug it in after.
Rabbi, is it a regular question if the guy forgot to say Mincha Friday afternoon? So he has.
It's funny to mention Friday after Shulchan Aruch. It's open Shulchan Aruch. Everything is said in Shulchan Aruch except one.
No, I'm not saying it's. But I'm just saying. It's on a regular. We only record
But there's no, you cannot. There's no Tfilat Nedava
on Shabbat.
on Shabbat.
Right.
This is why. So he said this is a chidush of Orva. Yeah, he says. If you want, listen to the Chazan, tell him to be Matziyu. This way.
Was that for the same thing on a regular Friday afternoon? If somebody forgot Mincha? And now we have Friday night.
And he's obligated to pray twice.
And he does pray.
Only here you rely on the Chazan because everything is open Gemarot. It's Gemara, Rambam, Shulchan Aruch.
I know we did a lot of it.
No. I'm saying this trick, to count and the rest is before us. And then let's look a second. I imagine we can spend in Perashat Mishpatim a couple of months because it's 57 halachot. This is major parashiyot. Well, then let's start from the Evri. We'll go to the Rambam and the Ramban. So let's start with the second pasuk. Ki tikneh Evri. There are two ways to buy an Evri, but normally we talk about a man who stole money and he doesn't have to pay. So you would sell him to pay only if the amount we get is to cover the full amount that is chayav. We're not going to sell him for 3 years and to pay half of the money. Only if you. So kitikne Eved Ivri is a Jewish slave. Shesh anim ya'avod, the minimum 6. We'll talk later what happens if he gets sick, if his master gets sick, etc. Ubashvit, and the 7th year of labor. Yetzeh lachofshi chinam. We'll see maybe tomorrow or the day after, Parashat Rei, what his master is obligated to give him when he gives, the same is by a woman. Imegapo Yavo, when he was sold as a slave, Megapo Yetzeh, his master is not permitted to assign him a non-Jewish substitute in order to produce slaves. אם בגפו יבוא, בגפו יצא. אם בעל אישה, if he was married when he was sold, what is Isha? What happened if he's waiting to be meyabeh his sister-in-law? Is she considered Isha or not? Yeah? What happened if he's engaged to be married but he's not fully married? You realize every word in the parasha has to be analyzed what exactly the Torah meant. Of course, we see everything. Yatsa Ishto Imo, his wife, his legal wife, was never servitude. What is Yatsa Ishto Imo? His master is obligated to support his family while he's a slave. We'll see exactly what it means. For how long are they doing it? If he was sold as a married man, his master is permitted to assign him a non-Jewish servitude. וילדה לו בנים ובנות, האישה וילדיה תהיה לאדוניה. They are really slaves because the kids are not related to him, because halachically the mother is a servitude. So האישה וילדיה תהיה לאדוניה, והוא יצא בגפו. So let's start a minute with the Rambam. You have plenty of Rambams. There's Rambam Sefer Kinyan Hilchot Avadim. The end of Sefer Kinyan. Sefer Kinyan Hilchot Avadim.
Which perek?
We'll start with Perek Aleph.
You got it? Aleph.
I just want, before we start to read the halachot, look how many halachot are in Perek Aleph. Look at the Rambam is always listing before he goes into details. The mitzvot. Look a second. Din kinyan evet Evri. Okay. Bet shelo yimacher mimkeret evet. You have to treat him as a Jewish slave. Shelo yavedenu befarech. We'll see what is the meaning of the word befarech. Everyone has a job. Shelo yavod bo avodat evet. What is the difference between avodat perech and avodat evet? Shelo naniach ger toshav yurdod befarech. What happened if a Jew sold himself as a slave to a non-Jew? It's incumbent on the community to try to buy him back. And Vav, after his slavery is over, you are supposed to give him. We'll see interesting which type of gifts you're obligated to give him. Shelo Yetzer Ikam sounds the same. It's a similar. Then you have chet. You realize everything is around the slave. Lifdot hama Evriya, which means what? When we sell a male, we are not obligated to buy him back, to help him buy himself back. If he gets money, inheritance, fine. We are obligated to try to buy the Jewish young lady that her father sold her, only if he doesn't have a penny he doesn't have a house, he doesn't have any belongings, we have to try to help her out. Tet, the Yada. If the master or his son decided to marry her, then all the money that the father got goes towards the Kiddushin. The kesef שהרבא קיבל is kesef Kiddushin. Yud,
what's the
ליעדה, לא, זה לשון הפסוק, אם לבנו ידע, התחתן איתו. The main idea of selling shifcha is not only to find a foster home to a young lady that the house is completely empty, it's to give the master or her an opportunity to become the wife of the master.
Yeah, that means to marry her.
No.
So you're saying the money that he paid is really
The case of Kiddushin is normally by Kiddushin, if she's under 12, the money goes to the father. If the Adon decides to marry her, so he would say to the father, "Arei bitcha mekudeshet li bekesef that I gave you." The father sold her.
There's no physical transfer of money.
Right, this is the point. Right, this is the point.
It's just a paper transaction, basically.
I mean, in theory, yes, in theory, let's say if you divide it, every day of this avdut
It's worth.
is $10.
Yeah.
So until the last day, then you can still do it. Then shalot yimacher. Shalot yimacher means neither the male or the female cannot be resold as property, which means I'm a Jewish master. I bought an Evri. I decided to get rid of him after 3 years to sell him. You cannot. Neither she. Unlike Eved Kanani, who is being treated as a property of his master, and his master is permitted to do it.
Rabbi, this is talking about only the Amah.
No, but הגמרא לומד זה אותו דבר, זה נכון. His question is good. נכון. עליו, לא, עליו, כתוב באמר. אבל לומדים את זה. Now, listen carefully. What happened if the master died? Does the son
has to
inherit? No, inherit.
First inherit.
So by a male, the answer is yes. By a female, she's going out.
She's free.
Okay? She's free. Okay, now let's go to the details. It's Achinam and Kasper. Look a second now, the details. Eved Evri Amur Batorah, here, this week's parasha, Israeli, שמכרו אותו בדין על כורחו, it's not his choice, או המוכר עצמו. We are going to see 4 differences between a Jew who sold himself to a Jew as a slave and between a Jew that is master. The biggest difference, of course, is that his master cannot assign him a shifcha Kanaanit, but we'll see in a minute. Ketzad, Rambam gives an example. Ganav ve'eino leshalem et hakeren. What is the Rambam saying? I stole $100,000. I really owe $200,000. It's being sold only to pay the principal, not to pay the kefir, not the knas. Correct. כמו שביארנו בהלכות גנבה. ואין לך, listen at the Rambam, this is like a statement. ואין לך איש מישראל שמוכרים אותו בדין. A Jewish person can never be sold. אלא הגנה בלבד. ועל זה שמכרו בית דין, the one that was sold by בית דין, הוא אומר, כי תקנה בדברי. ועליו הוא אומר במשנה תורה עם פרשת ראה, כי יימכר לך, by others. Who are the others? only בית דין. יימכר לך אחיך עברי.
This is gana bilba meaning not a debt. You know, if somebody owes a debt, Beidin decides that this guy owes the money, he doesn't have it.
No, but the idea in the Jewish constitution, people cannot be sold as slaves.
Right.
Only if you did something. And
Right.
yeah,
What they call debtors when they used to sell debtors. It's not British, but
the court
courts
was
used to sell somebody
exactly.
in the old days.
This is exactly what he's trying to say. But remember, the Geneva is Geneva that they ever did.
What?
So what you stole, the money is gone somehow. Exactly. No. This is the point.
There's no recourse then.
No, the recourse is for the rest of your life, everything that you own, slowly you have to pay. You will not sell it.
Whatever the service is.
מוכר עצמו כיצד? ישראל שהעני ביותר, שהעני ביותר. נתנה לו תורה רשות למכור את עצמו. You realize the Torah has to give him permission, which means the concept that you are taking upon yourself a title of an Eved is not so simple. נתנה לו תורה רשות למכור את עצמו, תשמע, אתה שומע, תשמע טוב סמי, ולהצניע דמיו. The person sells himself, you can put the money in the bank, או לקנות בהם סחורה או כלים, או לתנם לבעל חובו. אלא אם כן, המס צריך לאוכלן בלבד. No, צריך לאוכלן means, and of course, if you need the money to food, don't come now to the, I need tzedakah.
You מחדש me that you can invest the money, you can buy.
ככה אומר הרבי, not that you can go to Atlantic City, but you can, some of the chidush, the
What's
chidush.
the chidush?
The chidush is, you are getting yourself a title. No,
It's
you're
just
getting
poor,
yourself,
not to
you're
say,
getting
oh,
yourself a title of an Eved in order to have money. The Torah constantly said, "Abadai yem b'lo avadim la'avadim." Here's a man taking a t-shirt, I'm a slave. אומרים, אף על פי כן,
Oh, you have to explain that he's allowed to.
לא,
not just
לא,
the
לא,
food,
לא.
not just for food.
תסתכל, נתנה לו,
destitute.
סמי, לכן כתוב, נתנה לו תורה רשות.
What is
ואין,
he teaching me? You're like, I'm destitute, I decided to sell myself.
ואין,
It's a job.
ואין, no, but it's a title, it's a title, it's a title. You cannot sell yourself to buy a Lexus, you cannot sell yourself to understand the כלים הקבלה,
Essentially.
ואין אדם רשאי למכור את עצמו, אתה שומע? עד שלא יישאר לו כלום. When are you permitted to sell yourself? Only if you are wiped out. Then what do you do with the money? The Rambam told us before, ואין אדם רשאי למכור את עצמו עד שלא יישאר לו כלום, ואפילו כסות לא תישאר לו. אפילו כסות. You don't have an extra shirt. ואחר כך ימכור את עצמו.
So really, I see here that you have to receive money in order to sell yourself. You're not just performing services and getting food and shelter.
No, definitely. He's selling himself. He's
saying,
selling himself to make money, and the Rambam said
no, I'm saying I see somebody sell himself. Just give me food and shelter.
No.
You can't do that. You have to get money.
Right.
But his money.
Yeah, we'll see in a minute.
And is it the same?
No, he's asking now, can I sell myself for 3 years? In a minute, the Rambam discusses, of
Rabbi,
course.
he's a slave. Isn't the master sustaining him for food and all that stuff? What does he need money for food if he's the master has to provide all the food?
Because he has a family also.
And does the master
Oh,
have
the
to
master
provide
has
money?
to provide.
Let's see that we're starting the topic. So the Rambam is very careful before he goes to any details. He tells you, כבר ביארנו שאין האישה נמכרת בגנבתה. Every time people talk about how Judaism treats women here, אין דבר כזה. She stole, she gambled, whatever you want. She's a woman. אין האישה נמכרת בגנבתה. אנשים לא
I should let my wife.
He says, Sammy says, let your wife steal if you're really planning to get her to. וכן, אין האישה מוכרת את עצמה. same הלכה, ואינה קונה עבד, לא עברי ולא כנעני. Okay, this is an interesting הלכה. חכמים are not allowing a female, a single female, to buy male slaves, Jewish or not Jewish. ואין הגר, אתה שומע סמי? נקנה בעבד כנעני. A convert is the same as a woman. נקנה, which means if a convert comes, I'm poor, I would like to sell myself. אתה גר, we will take care of you. אתה באמת סל. אין הגר, זה חידוש גדול, לא שומעים את זה, yes. No, the answer is you came to Judaism to be sold as an עבד, מה זה? זאת אומרת, כאילו זה רמב"ם מסוים מתועץ, yes. ואין הגר נקנה בעבד עברי שנאמר ושב על משפחתו, כפי שיש לו משפחה. He might be married, he might have children, but this is not a family. עכשיו, please go to הלכה ג'. עבד עברי שמכרו בדין, אין מוכרים אותו אלא לישראל או לגר צדק. וכן, המוכר עצמו, if you sell yourself, אינו רשאי למכור עצמו לגוי, ואפילו לגר תושב, even though לגר תושב, he is keeping 7 מצוות בני נוח. ואם עבר ומכר עצמו, so this is really Jewish law. What he did is an עבירה, but the one that paid money has him, he's a slave. Fine.
What's the gear said that here?
No, גר צדק is a real גר.
What's the gear to shop?
גר צדק puts tefillin every day, גר תושב can still eat pork. He's
The
only
Ger
keeping
Tzedek is a
7
Jew?
mitzvot. Ger Tzedek is a Jew.
It's a Jew. He made so he converted.
Ger Tzedek.
Yeah.
Always Ger Tzedek is always a converted Jew. No, but the Ger Tzedek means that. Okay. look now to halacha A and pay attention because when we read it in Chumash, it's אחד המוכר עצמו if you sell yourself, או שמכרו בדין, אינו נמכר בפרהסיה, הלבן המקה. You used to have marketplaces where don't sell a man as a property even when he's allowed. It's more the affair.
Humiliating.
I'm selling my your dignity as a person is being preserved. We respect you. How this is exactly what you're saying. ולא בסמטה כדרך שהעבדים נמכרים, שנאמר, לא ימכרו ממכרת עבד, אינו נמכר אלא בצנעה ודרך כבוד. I mean, this is really the lesson in many other halachot, yes? The man is poor, he has no choice. Make him feel that he is, and he is a person. Now, כל עבד עברי, אסור לעבוד בו בפרך. זה פסוק מפורש של חומש. איזוהי עבודת פרך? Listen carefully. זו עבודה שאין לה קצבה. It's a job. What should I do? Start to pick up the stones. How many stones should I pick? I'll tell you later. או עבודה שאינו צריך לה. אלא תהיה מחשבתו להעבידו בלבד שלא יבטל. You have to keep it busy. Decide whatever you want.
It has to be constructive.
Example. מכאן אמרו, this is גמרא. מכאן אמרו חכמים, שלא יאמר לו עדור תחת הגפנים עד שאפו. You have a keren, you have an orchard. I want you to dig, to plow around until I come back. What difference does it make if I tell him or not? Psychologically, if someone tells you 6 hours, I need 25, tell him 25 trees, it's fine. Even though the 25 trees are the entire day. You realize the psychology here?
Finite,
you tell a
finite
man,
amount.
if you tell a person to avoid, come on, until I come back. This is the example he's giving.
This was the opposite of Mitzrayim, where they did useless
No,
work.
but you realize how much psychology you have. Yes. You know that if you check in this morning at 9:01, you're out at 5:01. Yes. But if you're telling you, Achani Achzor, when is he coming back? 5 hours, 6 hours,
So
7
day
hours.
labor or 9 to 5 doesn't matter. You start at 9 and 5. Here's the
Yeah,
work I want you to do.
Look,
Doesn't matter because you know there's an end to it.
The Rambam continues. Ela yomar lo ador ad sha'a pelonit. By 2 you can stop. By 5 you can stop.
Yeah.
Or ad makom pelonit. Okay, 25 rows, 10 rows, or whatever, 10 trees, okay? Okay, then he continues.
If he does it faster, he can stop.
If he
Yeah,
gave him a
if
job,
he
he's
gave him
25.
That's the point.
David, the whole idea is that he feels in the back of his mind that it's coming to an end. I know, but you realize how much humanity goes into this halakha. What difference does it make?
Otherwise, there's no end to it, so to speak. It's out of your mind.
It's in your mind, yes.
But I think these would be the same rules for Eved Kanani also. You can't mistreat
Yeah,
Eved
yeah,
Kanani,
yeah.
and these are mistreating.
Yeah,
If you're
yeah,
suing
The
it.
definition of parech,
This is parach, yes.
so meaning Eved Kanani, you can do the parech.
You're like, let's go now.
Fine, you have to go.
It's the same place. We have to
Oh.
put your hand, leave your hand here. Please go to the end of the here. Let's see. Let's see the Rambam here. Look at פרק ט' הלכה ח', זה מאוד יפה. תשמע טוב, פרק ט' הלכה ח'. It's all the way there, פרק ט' הלכה ח', almost at the end. מותר לעבוד בעבד כנעני בפרך. Now listen, don't ever leave a class here. ואף על פי שהדין כן, even though this is מותר, מידת חסידות בדרכי החוכמה, שיהיה אדם, now we're talking about the Gentile, שיהיה אדם, זה רחמן ורודף צדק ולא יכבידו לו, don't make it too difficult for him. ולא יצר לו, don't put pressure on him non-stop. This is the ABC of labor today, the ABC of a good management of an office. ויאכילנו וישקהו מכל מאכלו וכל משקהו. חכמים הראשונים היו נותנים לעבד בכל תבשיל ותבשיל שהיו אוכלים, used to share within the food. יש לנו מה עבד כנעני. ומקדימים מזון הבהמה והעבדים על סעודת עצמם. אוקיי, דברים זה פסוק. skip a line. וכן לא יבזהו, don't humiliate him. לא ביד ולא בדברים. As this is לעבדות מסרן הכתוב ולא לבושה. Here, a human being doesn't mind if he's working hard, as long as he feels he's being treated with respect. Okay, here you can really.
So you're saying there's no halacha that you have to treat the evet, to feed the evet first?
You know, it says חכמים הראשונים used to do it.
I mean, they used to do, but no halacha. Isn't there a halacha that says you have to feed the behemah?
The Rambam
So now we see that the
בהמה יואב לגדת בחובת, ונתתי עשב בשבך לבקשך ואכלת בשבת. Yes. Now the Rambam continues.
He says in Midat Hasidut, then he goes brings Pesuk.
I know, but you don't need midah chasidut for the animal. The animal we have pasuk. Here we need midah chasidut.
Almost undermines.
If I was a cynic,
undermining his
I
claim
could,
that Midat Hasidut.
ולא ירבה עליו, שמי,
Yes.
לא ירבה עליו צעקה וכעס, אלא ידבר עמו בנחת, וישמע טענותיו. Okay, brings a pasuk from Job. Now look at the Rambam concludes this should be framed. ואין האכזריות, cruelty, והעזות מצויה אלא בגויים ערלים, אבל זרעו של אברהם אבינו, והם ישראל שהשפיע עליהם הקדוש ברוך הוא טובת התורה, וציוום בחוקים ומשפטים, Jews who are observing חוקים ומשפטים, רחמנים הם על הכל. וכן, מה מתכוון פה בכל סמי? even the non-Jewish עבדים הוא מדבר, כל אחד. וכן, במידותיו של הקדוש ברוך הוא שציוונו להידמות בהם, הוא אהב לגט emulate the way of השם, הוא אומר ברחמיו על כל מעשיו, and you say every morning, אשרי, טוב אדוני לכל ברחמיו על כל מעשיו, Rambam says, every human being, yes? וכל המרחם מרחמים עליו. If you realize this is the biggest חידוש from what we read, בדרך כלל כל המרחם מרחמים עליו, you have רחמנות על Jewish day. כל המרחם, if you have the מידה of רחמים, and you feel bad for anyone, כך אומר הרמב"ם, שנאמר ונתן לך רחמים ורחמך וירבך. It's amazing. Well, let's go back. תזכרו, there is a very famous Rambam. If you have something to present, what is Judaism saying about, hey, okay? Every time we collect money for 80, for this, for that, as always, very often, people understand that if you give to a Jew is a brother, a non-Jew is a human being. The Rambam says you have to have rachamim on everyone. As always, some people feel always giving more to a disaster in Africa than, okay, but the Rambam says clearly, this is part of rachamim. Go back to Perek Aleph.
Today Israel goes through crisis. They go to Haiti to rescue and help people. It's called the hallmark of the Jewish faith.
I don't think they'll be going to South Africa anytime soon.
Rabbi, it's not equal. It's equal giving to a goy than a Jew.
No.
We said before, the Rambam says openly now.
Oh, okay.
The Rambam says if you have money to go to Cancun, give to a non-Jew also.
What do you say? I'm sorry.
Cancun. If
If
you're going to
have money to go
Cancun,
to Cancun, give to people that are homeless. This is what the
I
Rambam
got
said.
you. Okay.
Rambam is not saying take away food from the children and give
Okay.
to
Yeah, but we have the issue of matanat chinam. If it's anonymous, you really
Matnat Chinam means to give a co-worker very expensive watch. This is Matnat Chinam. Giving him food when he needs, the Rambam says. It's part of- The Rambam says, oh, it's part of your.
even
It's good.
anonymously, even anonymously,
This is not matana. Food and clothing is not
not
matana.
considered
It's
matanat.
not matana.
It's required.
Rabbi Krohn has the following story. There was a young, one of these young rabbis came to a community in Canada. I forgot the name. He said 60 miles away from Toronto, whatever. He realized after a while that if he wants to build a good shul, he needs to build it. The Reform Temple was a huge, beautiful place. Yeah, his members are not rich. He goes to the bank and he prepared himself not to say I'm the rabbi of the Orthodox shul because then he doesn't have a chance. $50,000 is in 50s. Anyway, after a few minutes, the head of the bank says, Rabbi, which denomination are you? If you're not right, says I'm an Orthodox rabbi. The Orthodox? Fine, come. Says to him, why? It's not good. Says, I grew up in this town. Says, my father was killed in the fire. There was no social services. The Jew owned the biggest department store, knocked on the door, and he says to my mother, whenever you need anything, come to my store. If you can pay the minimum. If not, and says, I grew up because of the Orthodox Jew. Building an Orthodox shul, that was a sipur chazak more. But this, was he obligated to do it? This is
No,
this.
but that's a Kiddush Hashem.
No, but
He
well,
was Jewish, and all that.
It's not chinam.
No.
Not chinam. He didn't publicize it. He didn't talk about it.
It's totally anonymous. You're giving money on a commercial that says children in Africa. I'm not saying where they don't know. There's no Kiddush Hashem whatsoever. They don't know you're Jewish.
This story, you was obligated. He was a Jew. There was a widow in town. I mean, think about it. This is the way Jews treated. I mean, if you know history. Okay, let's go back.
Back to Aleph.
Yeah, back to Perashat Aleph, yes. Look further, but you realize the Rambam has here 9 chapters, and he spends many halachot in Perashat Aleph to teach us to be humane to a man who is a thief. And we sold him. We have to do it. Look further. Halacha Zayin. Look, Perashat Aleph, Halacha Zayin. Kol Eved Evri אסור לישראל שקנאו להעבידו בדברים בזויים. You realize? Up till now we spoke about work all day. Now the type of job that you are assigned to him, שהם מיוחדים לעשיית העבדים. Today it's difficult too, but they used to have special assignments that only a slave כגון, שיוליך אחריו כליו לבית המרחץ. You know this? Carry my robe, my shoes to the bathhouse. This was a sign. Or, you this? שיאכלוס לו מן עליו. You have boots. You come home, you sit on the couch. תשמע טוב מה שכתוב פה, yes? Guys, when my wife in the winter comes sometimes, I'm taking food.
Yeah, we've done that. You've done that.
No, I'm saying, but no, but the thing, no, but the point, no. But on the contrary, the reason I would do it, I can show the Rambam. You cannot do it, you never. The answer is, you need a helper, but you need in society, calling an Eved was called, can you take off the... It's not only boots, you realize the shoes. You came home, you're sitting on a couch, you have your coffee.
Right?
Chavod. It's a pellet. What's the big deal of removing shoes? I mean, I purposely told you a boot. It's not, it's shoes. This was the custom. You come from work, you sit down comfortably.
I have a rule. Prada, I take off.
Friday had to pay for them.
Jojo, we just spent the whole morning
I
taking
don't
off
want to
shoes.
get that much.
I remember a story of the son of a very wealthy retailer. He told a story about his father. When his father started his career, he used to come home every night, 10 o'clock at night, tired and sore. His son would take his father's shoes off and massage his feet. He said, I remember how hard my father worked, and I had the privilege to massage his feet because I know how hard he worked.
Wow.
It's a beautiful story. I get a chill thinking about it.
No, I assume now that you're telling me, I assume that part of taking off the shoe was also to massage his feet.
This was the thing at that
No, that was
time.
humiliating.
לא, אני משתמש בזה כדוגמה. dogma. Look further. Umutar, that the Jewish slave is permitted to be the barber of his master. A barber is a job.
It's not humiliating.
כן? מותר לספר לו שערו ולכבס לו כסותו. Remember, this is not put it in the laundry machine. You put the soap. You go.
Good job.
ולאפות לו עיסתו to be the baker. אבל לא יעשה אותו בלם לרבים. Don't take the Jewish slave and tell him, I have a bathhouse and people pay me money for it. You become the balan larabbim.
Be the attendant.
So, or sapar larabbim. Again.
He's making money off of it, he's selling his
Yeah,
services.
no, but not only selling his services,
The
type of
humiliating job.
services that are not, or sapar larabbim, or nachtom larabbim. Eli, listen. ואם נחתום is a baker. חכה. ואם הייתה אומנותו זאת, קודם שימכר, if your professional life was a barber or a baker,
Because it wasn't humiliating, you were doing it anyway.
people like, but
It's
look,
not humiliating.
no, but look at the
But can you
fine
make money
details
off
of the
it?
Torah.
Settle.
אבל לא ילמדנו כתחילה מלאכה כלל, אלא אומנות שהיה עושה. Don't teach him a trade and you are now making money on him. But whatever he did before,
It's not something.
you can still continue, and even though you're making money on him. But you realize again the dignity of the person. I was a baker now.
But you're teaching him a trade maybe, could it could be a
No,
good
but
thing.
what he's saying, if the trade
make
is
money.
obviously to make money off of
For them, but okay.
This is what he's saying. במה דברים אמורים, listen to a line in the Rambam, בעבד עברי מפני שנפשו שפלה במכירה. The minute he was sold, even though גנב, נפשו שפלה, he feels very humiliated. So don't put salt on his injuries. אבל ישראל שלא נמכר, it is a Jew that needs a job. מותר להשתמש בו כעבד, it is. A regular man says, I'm a homeless man. I need money. Come, take off my shoes, massage my feet. The answer is, he doesn't feel the umbrella, I'm a slave. You need money? I'll give you a job. This is what I need. ישראל שלא נמכר, מותר להשתמש בו כעבד, שהרי אינו עושה בו מלאכה, אלא ברצונו מדעת עצמו.
John.
It's מאוד מעניין, it's fascinating, okay.
I always wonder, what do they do with the slave who says no, sells his business, I'm not doing it. He runs away. He says, what is there? What could Beit Din do?
Okay, no, so you have to ask a general question. I mean, how much do we have the power to? The answer is, if it's a monetary contract, you are permitted to use force to do it. I mean, how far should you go?
I mean, Beit Din might give him lashes,
I
or
don't know lashes, but yeah, but Beit Din are threatening him, yes.
Rabbi,
Yes.
Sheila, it's not on the topic, but it happened this week. So two yeshivas were playing each other, basketball.
Listen to this, 2 yeshivot are playing basketball.
So they practice before the game, we have an hour, half the court. You go this court, you go that court. So the 2 baskets are here. But the home team, they lowered the 2 baskets on the side. There's baskets on the side and over here, there's 2 baskets, they didn't lower them. So this team says, do me a favor, could you lower them like that? So the coach of this team says, I don't know how to do it. And now they have him on tape saying, of course I know how to do it. I didn't do it.
What's the question?
I think they should fire him. What is it?
No, he's asking.
it's bad sport. It's been very bad sport.
Certainly should
What
get.
kind of Torah am I
Yeah,
teaching them?
certainly should get them. The principal, whoever the Rosh Yeshiva should definitely call him in and say it's not acceptable. No,
They should be fired.
no,
Who
no,
I didn't know about this.
Sam.
On tape.
No, Sam.
The thing was
Sam,
recorded, so they
another
have the guy
fired,
saying
but you definitely, Sam, you have to be reprimanded for it for sure. Okay.
Which team won the game?
Looking at
Who won the game?
looking at Yud.
It's,
I just
Hey,
that Maggie Davis getting
Okay,
out
yeah,
basketball
I'm reading the last halacha. We have a lot of Ramban and Mishnah Melech to look for tomorrow, but let's finish with this halacha. אין המה עברייה נוהגת, ולא עבד עברי נוהג, הלכה י', אלא בזמן שהיובל נוהג. No one knows it. Which means it form the time, form not the message you're giving. I mean, but you undermine the
Reprimanding him, the kids don't know he got reprimanded.
אין המה עברייה נוהגת, ולא עבד עברי נוהג, אלא בזמן שהיובל נוהג. It is? יובל is נוהג only בזמן שכל ישראל שרויים על אדמתם.
You should apologize to the other team.
When a big part of the Jewish people are suspended maybe.
Suspend them for a few games.
But B'ezrat Hashem tomorrow we continue.
And it should be known. No, it should be known. It should be known. He's being suspended because X, Y, and Z. 3 games.
So Rabbi, I couldn't believe I heard, it's true, this is true, that Maggie David's giving out basketball scholarships.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Then they told
Where have
me,
you been?
okay, so then somebody told me, and then
Yeah.
Clapham is doing the same thing. I
course
haven't,
they are.
then they told me they're not, I haven't verified that. I just can't
They
believe,
give partial
I
scholarships.
can't
They
believe,
do.
I don't know.
They do.
Are you aware that now this Jewish schools are a business? People compete each other. People are trying to get the best they can. It's a very strong competition, yes.
I see why he doesn't have the best.
I know, but.
Maggie David's a powerhouse.
I'll see you tonight. I have to
So,
say-
what end, so they win the championship, so somebody told me, it gives good feelings to the, it's, happy.